Good afternoon and welcome back. Today I'm doing a good old-fashioned fragrance haul video. I haven't done one of these in a while because I don't do big hauls of perfumes anymore. But as it turns out, today I have a few perfumes. So the first one I want to talk about is one that I've had probably about a month now. This is called Chyprelia by Puente Parfums. And I can't decide if it's a very traditional style Chypre perfume or if it's a very modern style Chypre perfume, because even though it has aspects of it that feel very traditional and vintage, there's also, I don't know, kind of an edginess to it that I really enjoy as well. And I'm not even really sure what it is that's giving it that. And I obviously have not worn this very much because it's still pretty new, but I do know that I absolutely love this, and I blind bought it as part of a coffret. So I've already spoken about Iris Deux and Vespertine quite a bit on the channel already. And but I only had a sample of Vespertine, so I wanted to upgrade to a full bottle of Vespertine. And by full bottle, I mean I've just been buying the 20ml bottles because I couldn't afford, I genuinely could not afford the 50mls because they weren't ridiculous. There's definitely perfumes out there that are more expensive, but at this point in time, given where I am at my stage in life and the renovations that we're currently undertaking, I just couldn't justify spending several hundreds of dollars on a bottle of perfume. Anyway, Chyprelia is a really beautiful golden hued type of Chypre perfume. Yeah, it just comes off smelling like a goldeny yellow colour, a warm yellow, like the colour of the liquid, I guess. Peachy, mossy, a little bit aldehydic, lots of bergamot, maybe some jasmine and vetiver are probably the things that, or the vibe of this perfume that I get the most. I'm not saying necessarily that I smell every one of those things. It's just that they're the things that I think of when I smell this perfume or this scent profile. It's an absolute stunner. It does have a bit of an old school feel about it. But then it's also got, as I said, this sort of modern edge to it as well, which I think makes it entirely relevant for today's wearers. I think I remember seeing Persolaise talk about this a few months ago, and he likened it to Mitsuko. I was kind of surprised about that because I don't get along with Mitsuko, and I know that seems really weird because I love Chypre style perfumes, but for some reason Mitsuko just does not smell good on me at all whatsoever. But this smells amazing. So if this is what the original Mitsuko smelled like, then I'm very, very impressed. But that is Chyprelia by Puente Parfums. So the next one is just a little travel size that I indulged myself in, given that we are heading into summer. I've been wanting to get my hands on a sample of Vacation Ink, which is a perfume that's been done in collaboration with, I think, Vacation Sun Care and the Arquiste team, but I can't get my hands on it because they don't ship to Australia, and there's no distributors shipping to Australia either. So wasn't able to get my hands on that. But what we have received recently is Miami Nectar from Ellis Brooklyn. This is my first Ellis Brooklyn purchase, official purchase, and it's just a really fun summery holiday scent. I can totally see myself wearing this at the beach if we go to the beach over the summer this year. It smells a little bit like a cocktail. There's coconut water, pineapple, frangipani, and it just smells really fun and playful. And I only bought the travel size because I can't see myself wearing a whole bottle of it. But I definitely thought, as a little indulgence for the summer months, that this might be a fun one to dip my toe into, given that I have started to develop a bit of a liking for some more fruitier scent profiles in perfume. So I bought that one. But then the store that I bought it from, I've been a member of for a while, and they occasionally will send out little freebies when you make a purchase. So my freebies were actually pretty good, and I think worth more than the actual thing that I bought, which was the 10 ml of the Miami Nectar. So what I got as a gift was a 10 ml size of Tubereuse Astrale by Maison Crivelli. I do have a couple of samples of this too. I have been sampling it. I mean, obviously, as soon as I heard they were releasing a tuberose perfume, I was trying my best to get samples of it because I am a tuberose lover. I do have some thoughts. My thoughts are, I'm not sure this is a big bottle worthy for me, although I am glad that I now have the 10 ml because it is still quite a very strong perfume. I've been through one sample vial of it. I have one more sample vial and then I'll have to move on to this. Look, I have been wearing it and it is nice. I think it'd be quite challenging for some people because there is obviously a spiciness in there that I think some people might struggle with in combination with the tuberose. It's a very sweet tuberose, and that is probably what I'm struggling the most with, just because I think this, I think I prefer my tuberoses with just like the sweetness toned down a little bit, but I quite like the spiciness of it. I do have a bottle of Supreme Bouquet from YSL. This does not smell like Supreme Bouquet, don't get me wrong, but the opening of Supreme Bouquet is very sweet and it's a similar sort of feel in terms of the tuberose that I get from here. You know, I have so many tuberose perfumes and like, when is enough really? Like, how many options do I need or variations of tuberose do I need? Like my brain says not that many, Cherie, but then my nose and my heart say, but they're all different. I remember working with a girl years ago who she was moving house and we popped around to her house before we went out one evening. It was after work. She had racks and racks and racks of black tops and black skirts. I said, how many black shirts and black skirts do you need? And she was like, no, they're all different. They're all got different styles, different fabric, you know, they're different. At the time I didn't get it, but now I get it. So yeah, I will try in a vlog to share some more thoughts on this one, but it's nice. I just don't know if it's the price that I would want to pay. You know, I can probably satisfy that desire for that type of smell through other things, even though I've got nothing that smells exactly like that. And then the other one that I got as a freebie was one that I've never even tried, and this is White Tea by Korres or Korres. I don't know how you say the name of the brand actually. I'm going to say Korres. This is really, really pretty. You can see I've already worn quite a bit of it. I really hate the fact that it's a roller ball, but I did decant some into an atomizer and that is now empty, and I only got this last week. So it's clear that I do enjoy the scent profile. It's just very simple. It's a citrusy, maybe white floral, musky perfume. Nothing too complicated, really light wearing. I mean, I've been through the decant that I made of it already, and that's because in one day I basically had to reapply it like 3 times, I think. But I loved the scent profile so much that I was happy to just keep spritzing it on. It is also a fairly reachable price tag as well. I think in Australia these are $79 for 50 ml, and these 10 ml are about 20, but under $30 Australian. So pretty approachable in terms of price range, and just such a happy, fresh, clean, unassuming scent. I don't think anyone would be offended by you wearing something like this. So that is White Tea by Korres. The next one is a bottle that I bought off one of the people in our local Facebook group. I actually posted a query in the group to say, does anyone have, you know, a partial bottle of this that I could buy? And he came back and said, well, actually, I have a full unopened bottle that you can buy. And he gave it to me for less than what they were selling them for at discounters. So suffice to say, I bought it off him. This is Ambra Calabria by Nishane. Now, if you haven't been with me since effectively the beginning of this channel, then if you were to go back to 2020, there will be a video in there somewhere where I'm talking about the whole house of Nishane. I've got a bunch of samples of Nishane and I was just talking through all of them. And on that day, which was my first impressions, I think I loved this one, Ambra Calabria. I think on the day, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was my favorite one of the lot. And you can go back and have a look at the video. I'll try and link it here if I can find it, but hopefully I'm correct in my memory of that. But I never ever bought a bottle of this, and I ended up buying a bottle of 100 Silent Ways. I have worn quite a bit of that, and I did have a moment with that. And then I've also since bought, you know, the two little 15ml sizes, one of Tubereuse and one of Oolong Cha. But in my heart, I was just always kind of going, I really want, you know, these are all very nice, but what I really want is Ambra Calabria. And anyway, when we went to Bali earlier this year, I took a sample, my last sample of Ambra Calabria with me, and I just really loved it. And I couldn't get it out of my head. And I just thought, this year is going to be the year that I buy Ambra Calabria and I get to wear it all summer. Some people really don't like the opening on this because it is quite green, but then it softens into this really beautiful, I want to say what it reminds me of is like a sweet lemony amber. That's what it reminds me of. That's what goes through my brain when I smell it. So it's almost gourmand, but not quite, but it's still fresh. It's really lovely. I really like this a lot. And I think Oolong Cha is more popular than this. And obviously Hachivat was the big one at the time when I was reviewing the whole house. But this was the one that I loved. So now I have a bottle of it, which I'm very happy about. The next one was sent to me in PR, and I have already posted a little video about this. This is called Kashmir by Ormonde Jayne. This is a really cardamom forward fragrance. It's very light or translucent, I should say, in the wear, but it's quite strong and it lasts a long time. And I'm starting to lisp because I'm at the end of my workday as well, which is why I'm looking a little bit bedraggled. I'm not quite as polished as I would like to be for a video, but I want to get things filmed, and that way I've got the flexibility to edit when I can. So I apologize. I do look like I've just finished my workday. I look tired. Also, we were doing some pretty hefty renovations over the weekend for both days, all day, every day. And both Matt and I woke up this morning and we were so tired and our bodies were just so sore. We both, I think, need to go and book ourselves in for some massages or something. Anyway, we move forward. Anyway, so this, as I said, this is a very cardamom forward fragrance. It's quite woody and spicy. There's a lot of pepper in here as well. I really like it, but you have to like cardamom to appreciate this one because the cardamom is very bold. The dry down, you still get the cardamom. The dry down becomes probably a little bit more woody, and there's some florals in here, but not that much. They're not that standout, and I like this. But what I will say about it is that it sort of feels a little bit thin to me. Like I'm not getting a lot of florals in here. It's mostly cardamom, other spices, probably, you know, the Ormonde Jayne spice mix. That coriander is a very popular one that they use, and pepper and woody notes and a bit of incense. And I guess I would have liked the floral element to have been just a little bit more there. I know this is not meant to be a floral perfume because the inspiration is the Himalayas. So I think what is in here is that it's very green, cypressy, almost fresh. Like you do get, when you think about the brief and the marketing of this, where they're talking about, you know, being in the Himalayas, then if you imagine yourself at the top of a mountain in the Himalayas, all of the things that you're getting from this are, I'm assuming, represented in that actual location. I've never been to the Himalayas, so I wouldn't know. Matt really likes this one. I guess just for me personally, I probably just would have liked either a floral element that was a little bit more beefed up, just because I feel like it's just lacking a little bit of body to me. It's just sort of woody, spicy and incensey and a bit green. All those things I actually do love, but it just feels, you know, I just feel like I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more florals. And that's just my personal, I mean, who am I to tell anyone what this should smell like? I am not the perfumer. I am not a perfumer. So, you know, I feel like, who am I to say that it should have more of this or more of that? But just for me personally, if I was releasing this perfume, my feedback would have been, we need a little bit more floral elements in there to just bring up a little bit, maybe a little bit more depth and softness in the body to give it just a little bit more presence, I think. So as it is, it's a very pleasant wear, and it'll work really, really well in the summer months. And maybe that's what the intent was, that it would be something that would work very well all year round, and that was really clearly unisex, that anyone could wear it. Maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know. But I do like it. Would I have bought it? In all honesty, probably not. I probably wouldn't have spent my money on this perfume because we have other perfumes in our wardrobe, Matt and I, that have a very hefty cardamom element to them. But now that I have it, I will happily wear it, because I think what I'll end up doing is, well, Matt just really likes it on its own, and I can see him wearing it just as is in the summertime. I think that I would like to wear this in combination with another really breezy white floral or something, just to give, I don't know, a little bit more of a soft floral aspect to it and make it my own. Next up is one that I've just purchased from a house that I currently, well, before this purchase, only owned one other perfume from them. And it's a house that I had not really explored very much over the years, although it's been very, very popular for quite some time. It wasn't an easy one for me to get my nose on. They do very, very good gourmands and sweet perfumes, and consequently I had it in my head that that's all they did. And then when we went to Spain, I tried one from them called Tundra, and that is a really gorgeous, earthy, damp, I want to say loamy, although I don't even know if I know what loam smells like, but I'm getting, you know, it's very earthy and damp but aromatic as well, and that's a fantastic perfume, and it's a really, really good one for winter time. There was a couple of others that I tried in store, and this was one of them. This is Dolci Pensieri, and I only got the travel size because that's all I need. This stuff is strong. When I got back from Spain, I started to, I guess, listen to more reviews or look for more reviews on these perfumes by Profumum Roma. And I consequently have become an avid viewer of the channel Scented Moments from Joel Lima. I think that's how you say his name. Oh, he's also got a really lovely voice to listen to. He talks about this one a lot. He also is the only other person on YouTube that I've ever heard mention Tundra as well. So I feel like our tastes align a little bit, although his tastes are obviously more in the masculine leaning realm, and I tend to prefer more florals. I know that I say all the time that there is no gender to fragrance, and I do stand by that. I don't think that there's a specific gender to fragrance, but when I think about traditionally what I've been brought up to believe about perfume and what men wear and what women wear, then that's where I get that distinction from. But wear what you like. I'm just using that as a reference point because most people can understand what I'm talking about when I talk about masculine leaning or feminine leaning. I don't know why I keep feeling like I have to over explain that. I don't want to offend anyone is basically the point of that. I'm aware that the way we talk about things matters. All right, so Dolci Pensieri is another one that Scented Moments talks a lot about. I did smell this in Spain, and I won't say I wrote it off, but I just didn't really pay that much attention to it because it was on the day that I tried it, it was hot, and I was really gravitating towards, you know, like if White Tea by Korres, if that had been in there, I would have probably bought a bottle of that on the spot because it was just, I was looking for something refreshing. I'd also been sick for a couple of weeks, but this one, I smelled it and I went, rose oud, move on. And I kind of wrote it off a little bit. And then I got a sample of it when I got back and I thought, I kind of want to revisit that one now. I'm going to make a comparison now between this one and another perfume, and I don't want anyone who owns this to get upset, but I also am convinced that they're very, very similar, but I prefer this one. So to me, this bears a lot of similarity to Oud Bouquet by Lancôme, but I feel that the rose in here is just delectable, and this one just feels softer. It's not as loud as Oud Bouquet. It's not as synthetic smelling. There's some sort of sharp things that come out at me from Oud Bouquet, and I just much prefer this. I just think it is much more elegant, soft and warm and strong, but delicate at the same time. This also doesn't shout because I don't think it's a huge projector. It does sit fairly close to the skin, and it's just, it is really, really nice. Although from my understanding, I've heard that there's no oud listed for this one. So this arrived in the mail today. I'm going to wear it some more and get back to you with some more detailed thoughts, but I like it. And, you know, this has given me, so this is the second, even though this isn't classified as a rose oud, it does kind of bear resemblance to a perfume that apparently does or is meant to have an oud note, whether it won't be real oud, obviously. So this is the second kind of rose oud profile that I've talked about within a month or two, and the other one was More Than Words. I'm just wondering if maybe I'm starting to come back to rose oud because I really went off the whole rose oud scent profile for a while. I think I just got sick of it because everyone was doing rose ouds, or a profile that was very similar to a rose oud. So I'm just wondering if maybe this is my sign that I'm coming back to these sorts of profiles, and maybe I should start digging out perfumes in my wardrobe that had a sort of profile like that I've not been wearing because it's just not been my jam for a while. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, I feel like this one, I've kind of missed the boat on this year because this is definitely one that I probably would have worn more in wintertime, and now we're coming into the warmer months. But, I mean, I wore it today and it was beautiful. So, you know, we'll see. This camera has been doing something lately where it overheats a lot. It's really driving me mental. So the next one I actually have to unbox. It's a bit of an unboxing, literally. I've got my box cutters here. This has been sitting on the floor of my office for a few days now, but I wanted to wait for Dolci Pensieri to arrive. So this is obviously a PR package, in case you hadn't gathered. Although I don't know how to open the damn thing. Maybe there's a reason why I don't do unboxings. All right, I'm going to try this end now. I do this as well with the Ormonde Jayne boxes when I get boxes. Oh, I should do it this way. When I get PR boxes, or just, you know, when I order from the Ormonde Jayne website, I have so much trouble opening the boxes because I don't know which end I'm supposed to open it from, and they always tape it up so well that it's almost impossible to get it open. Oh, okay. This is a PR package from a brand called Orientica. You have seen me talk about a couple of their perfumes before on this channel. They're the ones that make Amber Rouge, which is a dupe of Baccarat Rouge 540. And I'm not a lover of Baccarat Rouge 540, hence I did not, really rate that. But it would appear that I'm now on their list. So we've got... I have kept a couple of the Orientica perfumes in my wardrobe. There was one that they did, it was from a different line to the Art Bellissimo one. They did send me the Art Bellissimo ones as well. And there was one that was like a vanillic, like a sandalwoody vanilla. I can't remember what it was called now. But I gave that one to my stepdaughter. She loves it. And they also sent me the one that was kind of like a Delina-esque sort of profile, but instead of rhubarb, they had a peach note in the opening. So it was a bit softer and not as tart. That one wasn't too bad. I gifted that one to my friend Rosie. And there's a purple one in that really ornate bottle like the Amber Rouge. And I still have that. That's meant to be similar to Gentle Fluidity Gold. When I smelled it the first time when I opened it, I wasn't a huge fan because it sort of smelled a lot like just perfumer's alcohol. But of course, everyone tells me stick it in the cupboard and wait. So I sprayed it, put it back in the cupboard and waited, and I haven't revisited it yet, but I'm wondering if now I'll get more of that sort of juniper-y vanilla profile. Is it juniper and vanilla, the Gentle Fluidity Gold by MFK? I'm not sure. I know it's meant to be a vanilla, but I can't remember. Maybe it's woody. I don't know. Anyway, what am I smelling here? This smells like cherry, straight out of the box. Yep, it smells like a cherry perfume. Cherry with, I don't know, there's a real brightness to this as well. It's like a cherry and sort of shampoo-y floral. It's pretty. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't think I've smelled anything like this before, so I don't know if it's duping. I don't know if it's meant to be a dupe of anything, or if it's something meant to, or if it's meant to be an original. But yeah, it's pleasant enough. I'm not a cherry aficionado. I don't know what this one is called. Oh, I don't even know what that was called. That one was called Smokin Gorgeous. Oh, quite like this one. This is called Dark Desire. This is more woody. This one's sort of a bit soapy. Woody and soapy. The Smokin Gorgeous, the red one that I just had, on the strip, it's, when I smell it now, it makes me think of Christmas, but not traditional Christmas. I mean, traditional Christmas in the sense of cherries, I guess, because cherries usually come out at Christmas time. But it's also got this sort of fresh shampooiness about it and florals, which almost feels bright, like for warm weather. So this isn't super heavy or anything. And so it smells very fresh and clean. And so I think that's why it's making me think of Christmas time, because at Christmas time we always have cherries, but I've also almost always got, we're on holidays and we're in the house a lot more. And I find that I tend to burn a lot of candles, and the house is always a lot cleaner because we're off work for a bit. So it's just got this bright sort of effervescent aspect to it. I don't know if this is meant to be like rouge smoking, because the name Smokin Gorgeous makes me think that maybe it is. And the fact that there's like this cherry vibe about it. This makes me feel happy. I like the smell of it. I'm not sure if it's my scent profile to wear, but I enjoy the smell of that. This one smells more cologne-like. A lot more juicy citrus is coming out now. And when I first sprayed it, it smelled very woody and kind of soapy. And now it smells citrusy. I feel like there's something a bit fruity in there as well, and kind of musky. It reminds me a little bit of like a marine style cologne, like a cool water or something like that. There's an aspect of that to it as well. I quite like this. This would be really refreshing in the summertime. It definitely leans on the masculine side, I think, whereas the other one is definitely more feminine leaning. But I feel like the bottle doesn't really match the scent because the bottle is dark and it's called Dark Desire, but yet it's got this sort of refreshing, watery, cologne, aromatic, citrusy, fruity bent to it. Look, I am not, they don't smell like anything else that I've smelled, so I don't think they're dupes of anything. But yeah, again, I'm not sure that I would wear either of those, but I think I'm going to put this one in front of Matt and see if he likes it. And as for I didn't really show you the bottle of this one either, did I? So hang on, let me pull this out. I wonder if my stepdaughter would like that. Maybe I should look up the note. Let's look up the actual notes. Hang on. I'm terrible. I'm terrible with unboxing videos. This is just, it's not obviously not something I do very often. All right, so Dark and Desire, citrus aromatic. So the top notes are bergamot, lemon, and green notes. The middle notes are rhubarb, spices, and ginger flower. And then the base notes are oak moss, amber, musk, and sea notes. And then Smokin Gorgeous. So the top notes of this one are pink pepper, ginger, cherry, blackcurrant, and plum. The middle notes are violet, lily of the valley, jasmine, and rose. And the base notes are ambergris, musk, raspberry, and vetiver. Those, I mean, they're just my first unboxing impressions, but I will have a go at wearing them and let you know what I think. Out of the two of them, I think I would probably prefer on me the Smokin Gorgeous, just because we all know I don't really love marine aquatic notes. They usually don't play well on my skin, but I'll give them both a go. I think that was the end. I have now come to the end of this haul video, which I think has now taken me an hour of talking, although I did ramble on for a bit, so I will edit that out as much as I can. I mean, obviously I haven't purchased all these all in one hit. It's you know, my haul videos have to be an accumulation of several months worth now. But these are things that I've purchased, but they haven't cropped up in any of my videos for whatever reason, or some of them, or in certain circumstances, some of them are very, very new, and I've literally just bought them in the last week or so. So what have you been trying lately? What have you been testing? What's on your wish list? I stopped keeping a wish list for a while, but I think I'm going to start the wish list again, because I think the wish list is for a while there, I felt like the wish list was triggering me to want to buy things, because having it on a list, if I forgot about it, then having it on a list meant that I would be reminding myself of it if I looked at the list, and then I would want it all over again. Whereas I feel like sometimes it's good to just let your brain forget about things, and if it's a high enough priority, you will remember. But, you know, I think the wish list is a good tool to use when you're trying to control your spending or monitor how much you're buying, because you can physically look at the list and go, that's a lot. And what I like to do when I do my wish list is I write on the wish list what I'm wishing for, but then I'll also add the price. And then that usually, seeing the prices there, usually is enough of a deterrent. All right, I'm blabbing now. I really am just rambling on. It's been a while since I filmed a video, obviously, so I'm just talking. I will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end of all this with me, I apologize, it was a little bit rambly, and I'll try and be more concise in the next few videos. There's lots of videos to come. I've got a whole list of stuff to talk about, so I just need to get on with filming. All right, I'm gonna go. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.